that's all right. I was just thinking to myself, is this going to give me enough light? Because it is quite early in the morning. It's like 5 AM. So this drawer, I'm just going to go through it. Well, I'm going to go through my entire makeup collection because, as you know, it's been overwhelming, and I'm just going to see what I want to keep, what I want to declutter. So I know for a fact that I want this to go. So this is, what is it? Does it say on the back? Revolution Poison Ivy, I think. It doesn't say on the back. So this is what it looks like. It is nice. I probably just got those shades like 5-10 times over. So it's got greens, golds, oranges, and I don't need to keep hold of it. So yeah, we're definitely getting rid of that. Sorry about the reflect. Like I said, it is quite early. I mean, I wonder if I can get rid of all this that's in this drawer. And then we've got this Friends Revolution. Part of me wants to keep it because it's Friends, but I was always more into Sex and the City than Friends. So and this one's very, very pastel leaning. I know I'm not going to use it. I've got that many pastel palettes. The shade that I really like when I use this was that duck shade. It is absolutely stunning, but I'm not going to keep a palette for one shade, so that's going. And then I think all these Revolution Soap ones are going as well. So we've got the last one that she came out with, Revolution Soap. And again, there's one shade that I really like. Oh, is there? No, there's actually a few. There's, I'm not gonna lie, I say that all the time, Mirror Ball, Dreamy, how does that say? Frere or something like that, that light blue. Yeah, I could definitely keep this, but again, I'm not going to pull it out. And obviously I've got shades like gold tone shades through my collection like 100 times over, so that's definitely going. And then this Revolution Soap X was the second one. Yeah, definitely a second. No, this was the first one. This was the Ultra Eyeshadow palette. I bought this. I mean, these are limited editions. No one can actually even get these anymore. Right, let me take the plastic out and then I can show you properly. It's a beautiful neutral palette. Yes, there's hard pan in that shade there, but it still works perfectly fine. I mean, it's got some lovely like neutral mattes that remind me of, they remind me of the mattes from the Mario palette, but I'm not keeping it. Put the plastic in there. Right, then we've got this Revolution Soap X. This is the first one I bought. So this Revolution Soap one was the first one, I believe. Or was it? Now I can't even remember. Yeah, I think this was the first one because I didn't really like the shades of this one, so I bought it second. So that's going as well. I think this pumpkin one's going as well. This is like limited edition. It came in a Christmas hamper. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like. Very, very pretty. It's got so many golds in it, but again, I've got those shades 10 times over. The only shades I haven't got are the more cooler, and I've probably got some that look like that. I don't need to keep hold of it. I might keep this little one, this I Heart Revolution, because it's got yellows in it, and I don't think I've got too many palettes with just yellows. So it's a mini match shadow palette in fried egg, so I think I'm going to keep that. Not too sure about this ABH Soft Glam. Let's have a look. It's stunning, isn't it? That could be a maybe. I might be getting rid of that as well. Then we've got this Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. I always like to leave this hanging around for autumn. I'll show you what it looks like. It's definitely very autumnal and it still smells quite spicy, but not like cinnamon spice, so I think I'm going to keep that. And maybe if I don't use it this autumn, or I use it very, very little and I don't, I think I should just put it on the chopping block someday, you know. Right, this absolutely kills me. It's a Disney Mickey, the the true original. And we all know on this channel how much I love Mickey, Minnie, anything Disney. But the colour story, I'm never going to wear the eyeshadows again, so let me just show you. The colour story's pretty, but they're not the best eyeshadows, so yeah, I'll probably just declutter that one. Then we've got this beautiful Lion King. I think if I was to keep any of these two palettes, it would be this one. It's absolutely stunning. I'm not too sure. This is kind of a maybe as well. Okay, right, so we've got this Shop Miss A one. I don't want that, so that one can go into the stash for not to be here. Got this Urban Decay. This is always a tricky one for me. Urban Decay Gwen Stefani. It is on the older side, but it performs really, really well, and it's got some absolutely stunning mattes. So I might keep it just for that. Right, we've got the Zulu by Juvias. I haven't tested this out. I said I was going to test it out, but part of me just feels like decluttering it. I do like the rose pink and the lime green though, and even that turquoise shade. So part of me sometimes thinks, shall I depot those shades? I'm not too bothered about the other bright shades that are in here. So that's a potential. Sorry, that's a potential. I might be depotting some shades. And then we've got the Dolce by Juvias. I've always liked this one more, as you'll be able to see. This one is more for this time of year, spring and summer. You can see there I've hit pan on that pink, and that like white shade there is really, really nice. So I'm definitely keeping that one around, I think. And we've got this Jefree Star Mini Jawbreaker. This is a potential for me to declutter. I've used it once for the channel. Yeah, it's definitely a potential declutter. I'm going to put it in the declutter section. Then we've got the W7 Socialite. I don't think I'm getting rid of this. It's a really nice palette. It's got really nice rosy tones, and I've hit pan there anyway, so yeah, I think I'm just going to use it. Then that Glitzy Girl there is just neons that I've never used. I keep it in case, you know, I don't really do much collabs these days, but I keep it in case I do a collab with someone. At least then I've got some neon shades. Then we've got this Dose of Colours Pretty Cool palette, which I really, really like the shades. I don't really have much cool tones. This should really be in my favourites eyeshadow palette drawer, so just put that there. Then I've got this Kiko palette here. It's an Iron Face palette. It's pretty dark though. It's like khakis. I don't know if I've got khakis. I might keep that as well. I've got this Fenty Beauty. What are these things called? Are they called stackables or something like that? Snap Shadows. And I've got the peach one. Some of these palettes are really hard to get into. That's pretty. So I think I'm going to keep that around. It's really nice as well to travel with. I've got this Sour Apple that Lisa gave to me. Obviously, I'm not going to get rid of that. It was a gift. We've got this Plouise The Love Affair palette. I quite like it. I'll keep it for now. Right, so I've got this I Heart Revolution Fruity Pebbles. Why on earth I bought this, I don't know. It's going. I could keep it like as nail polish toppers. That's what I've been doing. I've been obviously, well, there's nothing obvious about it, but I've been doing my nail polish with eyeshadows. I've got this Lion King one. I don't think I want this one either. So, I mean, it's nice. Isn't that nice? Greens, purples and blues. No, I'm getting rid of it. I've got this Beauty Bay Pastels, and even though I love pastels, I've got so many pastel palettes. I've not even used that. I've just swatched it. I've got this Stila. It's meant to be for the eyes, I think. No, it's highlighters, but I use it as eyeshadow toppers, so I'm going to keep that. I've got this Balm Petite palette. I really, really like this. So I think I'll be keeping it around for a bit longer. Can I even get into it? There we go. I love that orange shade there. I feel like that's why I'm keeping it around. I need to do a look though with the rosy tones, and that's that. Right, then I've got this Catrice X Jenny. You can't buy this anymore, and the reason I bought it was for that duochrome there, that gold duochrome offshore. It's really, really pretty. If you can get hold of this, I would recommend it. I've got this Going Solo Plouise palette. This one is more greys and silvers. I really, really like it. Considering those aren't my tones, I really do like it. So definitely keeping that. I've got this Plouise Fall in Love palette. This one came out, was it last Valentine's or the Valentine's Day before it? It's got some beautiful shades in it. You're getting your pinks, your golds, your bronzes. It's just really, really pretty. But I don't know if I need to keep it, guys. So it's a maybe. I might just pass that on. Then we've got this Morphe one. I think this is 9p Party in Pinks. I think this is the same as the Plouise one. I don't know whether I need to keep it. I mean, how stunning is it? Obviously, it needs a bit of a clean up, but we've got the pinks, the gold. It's very, very pretty. So that's that one. I'll put it in the maybe getting rid of pile, because I don't need every single eyeshadow palette that I've got, and I want to get my eyeshadow palette down to at least 150. And at the moment they're at 214, so let's see what we can do, hey? I do like this one though. It's the 9Z Just Say Zen. So this is pastel leaning, that's why I like it. I mean, how beautiful is that? So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep that one. This is a really nice palette as well if you like the cool toned, also the warm toned eyeshadows. But I took it from my mum's collection that I gave to her, so I'll give it a back. So it's the Stila Eyes Out the Window in Soul. So let me show you what it looks like. I mean, this is quite an old palette. I didn't get it when it was released or anything like that, but it is quite old to the collection. I only brought it back into the collection because I thought that I wanted it back in my collection, but I've got things like this. I don't need it. Look at it, it's so pretty, isn't it? And those shadows perform like they performed from day one. So yeah, that's really, really pretty. Right, I think I'm going to keep the Citrine, the Profusion Citrine. I've got a bigger palette of this called Gold Rush. I think I'll just declutter that. So I just don't have the room for it, and they are very, very similar, guys. Right, so we've got the Anastasia ABH Jackie Aina palette. It's lovely. It really is lovely. But I don't know if it's for me. Do I want to keep it? Do I want to try and work with it? I do like that Trust Issues shade. It's got a shift to it. Yeah, I'll keep it for now. There's the ABH Subculture as well. I just like the ABH palettes. I find really, really difficult to pass up on, guys. And this is really, really nice for autumn. I'm keeping this one as well. Right, so I've got the Beaute Nostalgia that was kindly sent to me from Andy Does Stuff. And I really do appreciate that she sent it to me, but it's not had much use at all. I suppose I could try it with the one Amy sent to me, the Nomad Cartagena palette, because that's got oranges in it. I mean, the red's nice, the orange is nice, the yellow's nice. Let's keep it. I really hate decluttering things or passing things on that are from my friends, so we'll keep it until this time next year, and if I still feel like I feel, then I'm just gonna pass it on. So this is the Nomad Cartagena Magica palette. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it right, and I do just feel like the Nomad palette, is it Nomad? No, Ace Beaute palette would go so nice with that. So I'm gonna keep this. It's really, really stunning, and it performs so well. So I don't wear glitter a lot, but that white glitter there is very shifty. So I definitely want to keep the Profusion Emerald Gems. The Amethyst Gems though, you know, I could quite easily pass up. I'll keep it in the collection. Not many people like to wear glitter, do they? But I'll keep it. And yeah, I'll see how I get on in this next year. And if I don't like it, I'll just declutter it then. My niece might want to try this, I don't know. She could even put this on her nails, but she uses false nails. I could use it for my nails, couldn't I? So yeah, we'll keep it and I'll decide what I want to do with it. Definitely keeping this because let me show you what it looks like. So it's the Antidote. I'm sure we all know what it looks like. It has got every colour story in here that you could need. Or want, should I say. The yellow golds, the bronzes, the light plum shades, the rosy pink shades, the greens. I can't get rid of this. Right, I do really like this. But it's only for the blushes and the contours and things like that. So I don't want to keep it for just for that. I'll show you what I like it for. So we've got some really nice bronzers. I feel like this is really good for like a makeup artist or for someone that doesn't have much makeup. Those two light pink blushes are what I would keep it for. And then we've got the cream lipsticks there, sorry. And then we've got, you know, quite a few nice shades of eyeshadows, but I never really used the eyeshadows. I tried that gold once and it looked nice enough, but I used it mainly for this side of the palette, so that's going. Right, so already we've got all this room, like all that room at the back there. So we've got another Plouise palette here. I only bought these at Black Friday, so I've already put one in my declutter. And then there's this one, It Takes Two. It's really pretty, but will I use it again? I just feel like I've got shades like it. Maybe not like that BFF shade and Together. Alright, I'll keep it. We'll see where we are next year about decluttering it. The next one is this Cara Duo Daydream palette. This one's beautiful. And it looks like that. There's no way I'm getting rid of that. If this is shaky, I'm sorry guys. Then we've got a couple of Iron Face palettes. I just use it around Christmas time for the blush bronzers that are in here. So we've got Peppermint Mocha. Again, that really gorgeous pink blush. Sometimes I'll use the eyeshadows. Not really those pinky eyeshadows though. I'll just put that there. This is my favourite one, the Gingerbread Cookie, because it's got a really nice bronzer in it. Also, I do use that Ginger Snap eyeshadow as well. It's really nice. So that's that. I do need to use these because they're old. And then the last one is the Too Faced Eggnog Latte. That's that one there, and that one's got a really nice blush in it too. So shall we put these in some kind of order? Sorry. So I just want you to see the space, you know. These should really go somewhere else. I want you to see the space that I've kind of gotten rid of. Oh, you didn't see these. Right, so we've got this NYX palette here with Makeup Geek singles in them. Some of them are developing hard pans, so they won't be in there for long, I don't think. I'll keep it though. We've got this Oden's Eye Alva. I think it's the Alva 2, yeah, the Alva 2 eyeshadow palette. It's beautiful, but part of me just feels like, oh, shall I just get rid? I'll keep it for now. And then I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So again, all that room there. So I've got some palettes over on Chopping Block Sunday. I think I'm going to put them here. So hang on and I'll show you what we've got, because some of these Chopping Block Sunday palettes I know for a fact are probably going to end up going, and I'd like them to be featured in this video. So all these palettes here, Chopping Block Sundays. So we've got the Profusion Mixed Metals Glam, I mean, this palette's beautiful. If it performs, I'll probably keep this one around, if I'm being honest. Then we've got this Magic Mini by Juvias. I thought I would be decluttering this for sure. I mean, it is such a stunning palette, guys. Let me just get into it. I really love that gold up top there, Nubia. I love the green down there, Buzzer. I think I tried those two silver greys, which are called Vi and Yamoja. I tried pretty much everything in it and I really liked it. Don't know if I tried that purple though. I did lives with these over multiple Sundays just to make sure that I wanted to keep it. The only shades I'm not bothered about using are the mattes, and I do really like the shimmers. Excuse me. Right, then we've got the She Glam palette, and guys, I'll be honest, so if I didn't have the Natasha Denona Gold palette, I would keep this. And she's just brought out the new Natasha Denona Golden palette. And what you're getting in this palette is the Natasha Denona Golden. Only 5 shades have changed. I really like this one. And what I mean, it's hard for me to say. What I want to do is see if this one's better than my Natasha Denona Gold. But it's so beautiful. I wouldn't get rid of my Natasha Denona Gold anyway because it was a gift of Naomi. But it is absolutely stunning. I feel like I'm going to do a couple of videos with this the upcoming couple of weeks and just decide whether I want to keep or declutter it. But I feel like, yeah, I can quite easily pass this on because I've got the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Sigma Enchanted, right, we all know how I feel about this. It's not a bad palette, I just don't like it. Let's go through it. And it was expensive as hell. It was like £40 or something. That shade there, I will be honest, the Metamorphosis shade, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all, whether you're going with a brush, whether you're going with a finger. If you're going with a finger or a brush, you get hard pan. So we've got the Electrum shade, the nice yellow gold, which is probably one of my favourite shades. We've got Cosmos, which again, you know, I've done 2 beautiful looks with that. Somebody said that the mattes were patchy. I noticed a little bit of patchy with Evergreen, that dark green shade, on my left eye, but that always gets a bit patchy. So yeah, I don't see it, you know. Maybe it's a case of different, like it's a different formula, or some people just have had faulty palettes. You get that sometimes, don't you? The reason I really want to declutter it is because it's got a hell of a lot of rosy tones in it. You're getting what, 1, 2, 3, 4 rosy tones, and then you're getting another 2 matte rosy tones. No, 3 rosy tones in mattes as well. So pretty much half the palette is rosy tones. I should have looked more clearly when I ordered it, because I do have the Sigma Rosy palette. So that's my opinion on that. This will be getting decluttered. Right, then we've got the Jefree Star Beauty Killer palette. I think well, I know I have to try this. I have to try them all to see which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to declutter. This one's beautiful though. I think it's still, in this day and age, it's still stunning. I didn't get it when it was first released. It would have been past its prime if I did that. I got it when it was years old. So yeah, I want to decide whether I want to keep or declutter this. Right, so this is my Sigma Rosy palette. So do you understand now then? Obviously I've got all these rosy tones in this palette, how I don't need the Sigma Enchanted. I don't, hang on. Can you see that? That's mould. Right, so this is being decluttered. I am not putting any of those other shades on my eyes, even the shimmers. The shimmers look beautiful though now. That is mould. Right, that's getting decluttered. I think this is the last one from the Second Chance Sundays that I want to do videos with, because I've got this Urban Decay Naked Honey, and then I've got the Wet n Wild Call Me Sunshine, and the very similar palettes. The Call Me Sunshine is dupeable to this, and it's smaller. I'd rather have that if I can get the same looks out of it. So Although this costs more, I don't mind, obviously, not having it in my collection anymore. And I don't think I'd miss it, because I've not actually used it for a while. This better not be mouldy. I mean, look at this, guys. It's pretty. It looks brand new. So yeah, we're going to do a look on this very, very soon. So keep an eye out on them over the next few days. Right, so I'm glad I didn't declutter this, because this isn't mouldy from what I can see. This is newer than the Sigma Rosy. The Sigma Rosy is getting decluttered into the bin. I wouldn't insult anyone in passing that off to them, but this one, because I don't really have too many rosy toned eyeshadows, if I do, I'll pass it on, but I don't feel like I do. So we just need to go through my collection and see what I've got. I don't know whether the Plouise has got quite a lot of rosy tones, and I got a Plouise palette off my mum for Christmas that I've not used yet. That plume shade, that budding shade, are really, really pigmented, so I think I'll keep it. And like I said, I do like Electrum and Cosmos. I was just only going to get rid of it because it had too much plum rosy toned in, so it still could be on the chopping block. We'll see. But the Sigma Rosy is definitely going. Right, so this Plouise Vacation palette is new, so it's going nowhere. It's really, really pretty. Perfect for this time of year. The plastic's still in there, but you can still see the imprints are in there. So yeah, that's new. We'll be using that soon. Colourpop Fade into Hue, again, going nowhere. And there's one shade missing anyway. That is just so, so pretty. And I should really be using it more. Colourpop Gold Rush is beautiful. I love the yellows, I love the golds, I love the bronzes. But so as I was saying, the Gold Rush palette by Profusion is beautiful, but it's too big. And can you say, like, in the Citrine palette they had a lot of yellows? Well, this one does too. I said a while back the only reason I'd even entertain and keeping it would be for that gold glitter. It's gold, but like it shifts orange. It's so pretty. But yeah, that's going. I think this one is too, the Revolution XX Pro. Beautiful again. It's got all those bright colours in it. My favourite side is the yellows. Do you know the yellow golds? It's very, very pretty. And then the pinks and the purples as well. But that's going. Then we've got another one. All I need to do in this is see how many rosy tones, if there's any rosy tones in here. Because if I've got rosy tones, I don't need to keep hold of the Sigma Enchanted. So let's open her up. I was just saying there's quite a few rosy tones in it. And I've got the e.l.f. Rose Water as well. So this one's rosy, this one's rosy. Is it just the two? Well, this one's quite pink. Maybe I will. I don't know, guys. I'll see what else I've got in my collections that like pink, rose leaning, because I don't know if there's that many, to be honest. But anyway, this is the Plouise, what was it called? Blend Away 2022. My mum got me this for Christmas and I still haven't used it 6 months on. So yeah, there's that. Don't mind these. So literally, these are my better eyeshadow palettes. That's obviously not going to fit there. I feel like I should go through it just... Oh, the vacation shouldn't be in there either. Okay, so my vanities here. Say, this is where the excess eyeshadow palettes are. So you've seen these two Plouise ones that I've not used yet. Then we've got these Colourpop ones. We've got some more Plouise here. So let's go through this and see what I want to keep, what I want to declutter. So I'm just going to put all that on the vanity. Right, so my mum got me this one year. I think it was for Christmas. Yeah, I'm sure it was. And I actually quite like it. I definitely like the blusher and the highlighter, so I'm definitely keeping this. I don't know what to do about this one. It's my only blue eyeshadows. I think I'll keep it. I don't wear blue eyeshadow that much. It's got green, well, one green in it as well. So yeah, we'll keep that. This I've never used, the Cosmo Rude Cosmetics. Don't think I want to keep it. Oh, but that shade there, Happy Hour, is absolutely stunning. I think I could quite easily pass up on this. Same with this, I have used it for the channel, the W7 Moonglade. It's a dupe for the ABH, I think Cosmos or something like that. Absolutely stunning. It's got some beautiful shades in it. The only shade I don't like and didn't think it was that great was that Cosmos shade. But everything else is really nice, so yeah, I'll get rid of that. Then we've got the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. I think I'm going to keep this for a little while longer. I really, really like it. Especially that Leo and Brixton shade there. So keeping that. But this one's on Chopping Block Sunday, I believe. I really, really like it. The Too Faced Chocolate Gold. Or I did really, really like it. I just need to see how they perform and see if I'm going to use it. You know, if I'm not going to use it, then I may as well pass it on. Then we've got this Stila one. So, Stila Blue Realm. Again, it's very pretty. That middle rose shade down there is a duochrome. That white shade is a duochrome. The blue's very pretty. It just, I mean, it just goes to show how often I'm going to use it. Morphe Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals. I think I could quite easily pass this up. I've used it once. And it's got some beautiful shades in it, some beautiful neutrals. But I'm not getting anything that's not already in my collection, am I? So we'll pass this one up. Right, I struggled to pass this one up though. It is the cutest packaging, and around Christmas time I want something like this to feature on the channel. So yeah, it's the it's the I Heart Revolution gingerbread palette, and it just has the most beautiful shades in it. I will say this again, I feel like from Revolution, the I Heart Revolution is the best formula that they do, and we'll always go to that formula over the palettes like Forever Flawless and things like that. I do have one of their palettes. I'll show you that in a second. Then we've got another I Heart Revolution Tasty Pumpkin Spice Latte palette. So let's have a look at this. This is another one I feel like I could easily get rid of. It's a gorgeous palette. It's got some really nice purples, some pinks, some golds, some orange leaning ones. I think for now I'm keeping it. I've not used it that much, so we'll keep it until like the autumn. I'll use it in the autumn and I'll make a decision then, because I'll be doing another declutter probably next year in the spring sometime. Colourpop Plush Like Me. I've always struggled with this, always. I need to put it on Second Chance Sunday, I think. It's beautiful. I just don't know if it's for me. But that's that. Right, so Revolution Game of Thrones. This is one of the tinned palettes. Yeah, Forever Flawless, Mother of Dragons. I can't get rid of this, even though I don't use it that much. I need to keep this in my collection. I like it more for the oranges, so for the left side. I've not even tried the right side yet, so keeping this one. BH Cosmetics Scorpion Sting. I got this sent to me. Friend sent it to me. Not used it yet, so it's going nowhere. I don't think it'll go anywhere anyway. I mean, look at those nice oranges. Summer in Saint Tropez. I've always struggled with this palette. Everyone raves, well, everyone that I watch raves about it, but I'm not a fan of it. I think I'm just going to declutter it. BH Cosmetics Smitten in Switzerland. I've not used it for a long time, but I do genuinely feel like I really like this when I used it. So I need to bring this out soon. So I need to do least favourite to favourite in my BH Cosmetics palettes. Beauty Bay Tropical. I'm not keeping this, not because the quality is not any good, it's beautiful, But because I've got the Cartagena Magica, got some really nice pinks, that bronze, that gold, the yellow on top. Again, I've only used it once for the channel. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, why have I bought that when I've got the Cartagena Magica palette? It's almost dupes it. So yeah, that one will go. And the same for this. So this is the Beauty Bay Neutrals. I got it in place of Natasha Denona I Need a Nude before I had the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, and I feel like I don't need both palettes, so that one can go as well. Right, so we've got the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette. This came out around Valentine's Day, didn't it? It's going nowhere. I absolutely love it, so that's that one. Then I've got the Beauty Bay Wilderness palette. This isn't going anywhere either. Absolutely love it, especially that lime shade down there. It is absolutely stunning. And then we've got this Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette that she came out with. I've barely used it. This was the first ever one that they ever did like this. So yeah, I need to use it and see if the formula's still good. The good thing about this is that I've not noticed any mould on any of these. So I'm just going to put back the ones that I actually want to keep, and then we can put the others back on the bed. I'm actually getting rid of quite a lot, more than I thought I would, so just let's do this. Right, now I want to show you some of my best Colourpop palettes. They're on display. So we've got the Limoncello, so let me show you that. So this is what the Limoncello palette looks like. Perfect for this time of year, like going into the summer months. It's just stunning. My favourite shades are Serenade, Capri. I even like those Fly Girl and what does that say? Easy Peasy. I like all the shimmers in this. It's just such a beautiful palette, so definitely keeping this one. Then we've got the Colourpop Holidays by the Muppets, well, Colourpop X Muppets, so I'll show you that, what that looks like. And my friend Karen bought me this. Is this not just stunning? That orange there, second row down, that green on the last row, that red on the last row. I just love this entire palette, especially around Christmas time. I like to pull it out, but you can use this all year round. You know, you can get a lot of use out of it now in the summer months. So yeah, that's not going anywhere, and such nice packaging as well. Then we have the first Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters. Now in this one I know there's some shades missing out of it, but I couldn't tell you where I've put them. I should really, like, from going forward, when I'm taking shades out of palettes to make other eyeshadow palettes up, I'm gonna write them down just so we know and we can put them back. Again, absolutely stunning packaging. It's a stunning palette. So we've got 3 shades missing out of here, which is fine. I need to see what shades they are and see if I can find them and put them back. But yeah, I really like the shimmers in this. It's really nice. The formula's really nice. Again, I pull this out around Halloween with the other Hocus Pocus palette, which I'm going to show you now. So that's that. Okay, so the artwork on this isn't as great, in my opinion. So it's the Colourpop Hocus Pocus Witching Hour palette. I really do like this one as well. I'm saying I really do like this one, but I wouldn't be keeping them if I didn't. So no shades from this one missing at all. This one is fairly recent to my collection. I think I got it last year. Yeah. It was way before my Nomad started. Probably in the summer of last year. Got it from Depop. Then we've got the Colourpop and Barbie Malibu palette. I didn't use this for such the longest time, but then I created some beautiful looks with it. Let me show you what it looks like. How stunning is it though, guys? It is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, definitely staying around the collection. So yeah, they're my favourites, and they stay on that little plastic thing there. Then of course we've got the new ones that I've been using. So this is the Disney Snow White Dreams Come True palette that my friend sent to me from the US. otherwise I won't have them in my collection. So I am appreciative of it. Let me show you what it looks like inside. I think that is one of the nicest Colourpop palettes, to be honest, in regards to obviously characters, and I just think they've gone above and beyond there really with the artwork. So that's what the palette looks like. Absolutely stunning. The only thing I'm not much keen on, so the shade Charmed and the shade Just One Kiss, you can see they're more satins. They're not like True Love, My Prince, even Ever After. Ever After is a super shock, and then this Spellbreaker up at the top is completely different to those two shades down there as well. It does have a couple of sequins in there, which is that brown Carried Away and then that Far Away shade. I would say that's more, I don't know, I don't even think it's black. It looks more blue. So anyway, that's what it looks like. I do feel though they didn't need both those shades on the top row. With a Smile and Such Grace, I don't think they need both of them. I feel like they could have just gotten away with Such Grace and put a different shade in there. Just my personal thoughts, and obviously I'm just telling you what I would like from a palette, but I do really enjoyed this one. And the other Colourpop palette I got at the same time. Again, my friend shipped it over to me. We did a friend unbox swapping, so what I'll do is so basically I'll put the videos in the description and you can go and check them out if you haven't done already. But this Colourpop Alice in Wonderland is beautiful. I was actually looking at a video and thinking, what am I wearing on my eyes? And it was this palette. It's just so stunning. It's going to get a lot of use. I like this more than I do like the Snow White one, so yeah, it's much more me. If you see the colour story now, you'll understand. Especially if you've been watching me for a while, you know I love pastels. So this is what it looks like. It's just really stunning. I'm going to give more thoughts when I do my ranking video and obviously show you some looks. But yeah, that's just what that looks like. And I just love, obviously, the packaging too. So it's the Lost in Wonderland palette. Right, so here's my Shop My Stash. I've already showed you the Snow White palette, but there's a couple of more palettes in there that I want to show. Right, so we've got the BH Cosmetics Love in London. I don't think this is going anywhere. I've really been enjoying using it, so that's staying around the collection. This one though has the potential to go somewhere, to get decluttered. I did really enjoy using this shade here, Mother of Pearl, and mixing it with Opal and going in. What did I go in with? I went in with, oh yeah, Mystical, this one here. I do want to do a look with the blues, and then I feel like I'll just be able to say, oh, I'm going to pass that on, or I'm going to declutter it from the collection, because I've got better pastel palettes than this. So that's those two that are in Shop My Stash, along with the Snow White one. Okay, and then these are some special palettes that I just keep around these drawers here, so let's go through these. None of these are going. If I was going to get rid of anything, I think I could quite easily get rid of this Michaela Part 2 palette. It's got some nice shades in it, but it's mainly greens, and I do wear greens. I have been wearing greens again, so I should keep it around just until this time next year, or whenever I do the other declutter, and just see, am I going to use it again. That Teddy shade is absolutely beautiful. January 23rd. I wanted to actually do a look on January 23rd with this, but I don't know what happened that day. Something happened, or I just forgot about it. I do love the Butterfly. That is a beautiful shade, but I'm sure the shade in the Tiny Marvels Mel Thompson palette is identical to that one, so I could get rid of it quite easily. Am I going to at this point? No. Then we've got also another Glam Light palette here that my friend got for me a couple of years ago now. So it's the Glam Light Cake palette. It still looks like it's going strong. I do prefer the shimmers to the brighter mattes, because there are a lot of bright mattes. I don't need to keep that. yeah, there are a lot of bright mattes and I'm not really into bright mattes, but you know, we'll try it. I'm not going to get rid of this until I have to, just because obviously my friend bought it for me and I do really like those shimmers. I mean, I could use this as a companion palette with something else. Whoops, I'm being awfully clumsy today, aren't I? I need to put that back in there. What I don't like, she's gone down the ABH route of actually just using velour packaging. It's like, why? We all know that people who have the ABH palettes don't like that. It's been established. So many people say, oh, I don't like the packaging, and she's done it. So I keep it in that box there because obviously I don't want fingerprints all over it. Then we've got, whoops, oh my gosh, then we've got this Clarity Cosmetics Some Amazing palette that my friend bought for me. So I'm going to have to keep it like this. I lusted after this palette so much. And I have used it. I think it was this shade here. I washed up like this. It just came shattered. I was so upset, but I managed to repress it quite well. What I will say about the pastel mattes is a lot of them are white based. Like, I think it's this one. Can you see how white based that is? So that shade is fantastic. They're not all like that, but like a lot of them are really white based. So you need you need like a NYX white jumbo stick. I've got an ELF primer, so I need to try that with it again soon. I do think it's a gorgeous, stunning palette. Is it worth the shipping to the UK that you would have to pay if you ordered it to the UK? No, not at all. I think that's just as much as the eyeshadow palette, and I think that's just ridiculous. Again, Lisa, who bought me this, asked a friend to actually ship it to me because they were shipping stuff to me anyway. So, yeah, that's that one. Then we've got the Glamlight Ice Cream palette. Oh my gosh, I was so happy when Naomi said she was going to buy this for me. And if you're not sure why, there's a video on it. Discount Beauty Boutique kind of robbed me. I got the money back in the end, but it took 6 months for them to give me my money back. And it took me having to take to social media to even get them to notice me. I sent several emails. Lisa chased it up as well at her end, and they just wasn't really getting in contact with me. Anyway, Naomi said that she'd like to buy this for me, and it's just so precious in my collection. I love it because you get in the neutrals, you get in like purples, pinks, pastels down here, so you've got a bit of everything. I really do like it. Like all my other palettes, they just need to be used more. I don't think going forward, like Black Friday next year, I don't think I'll be buying anything else. I'm going to declutter what I'm going to declutter now, and then I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm hoping, like I said earlier, I'm hoping to declutter and get it down to 150, so that means I've got to declutter 64 palettes. If my maths right, which it might not be right, but if it is right, 64 palettes need to go, and then I feel comfortable at 150. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see how many go, and yeah, this one is staying around the collection. Right, this one, I'm kind of sad that I actually bought. I mean, it's nice. I'm not saying it's not nice. I'm just saying I've got the Glimmering Creatures singles, and a lot of them are like a lot of the shades in this palette, like I'm duped from them. I mean, look how stunning it is. I do feel like it's a nice travel palette, so I'll probably keep it around for a little while. But yeah, I mean, if I could get a reasonable price for it, I'd probably think about selling. But at the moment, I mean, it cost me close to £50, I think, with shipping. I'd have to go and check, but I'm sure it did. Like mid-40s or something like that. And I don't want to just give it away for £10, you know what I mean? Right, let's put the box up here. Okay, so we've got another Glamlight palette here. Such a favourite, Glamlight Chocolate Martini. So this is the only palette I've got from the Martini range, the only palette I want. I got this from one of those third-party selling sites. Can't remember the name of it, but it is just a very pretty neutral eyeshadow palette. Verging on warm in some areas, but yeah, I do really like it. I love that pop of purple too. So keeping that.